there again. As you might have heard earlier, we were doing the 125 service from Kidderminster to Bridge North, and now we're doing the 52, bound for Redditch. Also operated by Diamond, as Diamond operates the majority of the Kidderminster network. And I just hope you enjoy the journey. The bus we have is an ex-Yellow Buses Bournemouth Right Street Light DF, and these were originally acquired by Diamond in 2022 following Yellow Buses going into administration, and Yellow Buses were Bournemouth, if you remembered, because I do go to Bournemouth quite a lot. I'm always on about Bournemouth. So, leaving the town of Kidderminster, there's the old Morrison's, which is now the branch of Safeway. So we're going to Redditch. This is the first time I'm touching Redditch this year, after last year when I did the 52, but this is like the newer version, to be known as DIA52. There's footplay at the model railway shop. Got a lot of bargains out on the front of the store today, front of the shop today. Very nice bargains today. As you know, Footplate is like a model railway specialist. It specialises in Hornby and Bachmann products. Okay then guys, here we are. We are just now we're by the train stations here in Kidderminster. So you've got the Severn Valley Railway Station, which is the terminus of the line from Bridge North. And then, of course, you've got the through station, which is the modern station, managed by West Midlands Railway Trains. And they go to a variety of destinations, such as Worcester, Birmingham, and also to Solihull, Dorwich and Stratford-upon-Avon, with certain trains terminating at Whitlock's End. And so here we go, we're on our way towards Redditch on the 52. This is the first time we're going to Redditch, and this was filmed on the 31st of May 2025. So obviously there's been quite a few delays of trying to process these videos, so just enjoy the journey all the way to Redditch. So as you know, I've got this video on mute because a lot of background noises going on and it's totally ruining the video, so enjoy the journey.
most this route we encountered was with the 133 service that runs Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and is run by Finesse. And now we're coming into Domford. Going left goes to Dordale and Belbrook. 50 mile speed limit, and we're just passing another street light, that one being not in service. Heading over towards Kidderminster, and that's ex-Rosso Transdev one. Also Longbridge, Morrison's Rubery, Drawbridge Spa, Webster Wychbold, also local services around the town. And this is also where the Bromsgrove On Demand service is located, the DRT run by Diamond Redditch. And from Monday, or tomorrow, you'll have the X20 service that will run to Birmingham. So there'll be a Birmingham service from Bromsgrove starting tomorrow or Monday. So if things go according to plan, I'll possibly be doing it maybe in a week, or maybe not, but we'll see. which used to be a Woolworths. And just parked in the centre of the bus station is, of course, the Worcestershire On Demand, the DRT. That we're in the Bromsgrove On Demand service. And just leaving the bus station is Voyager 100 working for the 145. So we're just now arriving at Bromsgrove bus station. Okay then, we're about to do the next leg, which will be the final leg of the journey down to Redditch. So just parked on the stand is Right Street line working alternative service over to Halzoe. That goes up via the Licky Hills and then up my favourite, Egg Hill Lane. Here's the Marketplace chippy. Been in that chippy multiple times. It's a brilliant chippy. I've been there before. Food there is absolutely astonishing, brilliant. So we're now ready to leave the bus station, and first bus serve Bromsgrove on the 144 service from Catshill used to continue on to Birmingham, and as well as the 144, and then of course you've got the custom operators, one doing the 318 and the 147. 318 goes to Stourbridge and the 147 to Alzoe, it goes by Romsley. And then of course you've got another custom operator that does like Charford and Sidemore and Catshill. And then of course you've got Clearways that does the Charford run. The 52A also goes to Charford. I'm not sure if Clearways still exists on the Charford, maybe not. I haven't seen them around for a while. So here we go. We're now on our way so there's the Astor store, and there's a 144 Enviro 300 branded as a Clipper. That's going to Worcester from Catshill. All buses at Worcester now are fully ADL because the Volvo street lights and the street decks are all gone to Bristol and Wales. There's this new interesting structure being built. I don't know what it's going to be. Maybe, I think it might be a library or an office block, I'm not sure. So here we are, here's the Golden Cross Hotel, which is also the Wetherspoons. Nice they've got spoons here in Bromsgrove. So the next part of the journey is down to the train station here in Bromsgrove. Bromsgrove train station. Obviously I just dropped the camera because I don't want to get people in our footage. Because if for any reason they do not want to be in the footage, we must then comply with the instructions. So Spain's electrical appliances store, Hanson's bus service. I remembered when Hanson's used to do the 318 back then. This is quite a decent route, the 52. So we're going to be going all the way down to Redditch. Never thought I'd get to Redditch today. I thought I was like doing Shropshire today. Today I thought I was going to be doing Shropshire only, but obviously it turns out we've come on to the Redditch run for a change, as well as Shropshire. So anyway, there's the Bromsgrove Baptist Church with its iconic spire. There's Guardian Court. This is a very, very decent route. Highly recommend to anyone who's not been on the 52, you should check it out. It's a fabulous route. And I do like the 52, it's a decent route. 52 all the way to Redditch. Now as you know, when we get to Redditch we'll be under the territory of Diamond Redditch operations, so you'll be under the territory of Diamond Redditch. And Diamond Redditch operate like the local services. They even do the outer routes like the 247 over to Evesham and the 149 to Worcester, and even the 150 up to King's Heath with a peak time 50A into Birmingham. Shame it's not a regular service to Birmingham. That would have been brilliant because the last regular Birmingham service was the 150, but that was when Johnson's did it. But when Diamond bought Port Out Johnson's, the 150 was shortened to King's Heath only. Would have thought just shortening it to Maypole and then integrating with the 50, but obviously it was just down to how it plans out. And obviously Diamond did have a Birmingham service. It was the 146 that went via Arverchurch, but that had to stop operating because of low patronage and not making enough money. So it wasn't financially viable to continue. So it's a pity shame the 146 was discontinued. But obviously now you've got the 182, 183 providing a more frequent service. But shame it's not on Saturdays and Sundays, but at least they've got an all-day service on Monday to Friday. So then we're now crossing along. As you know, there's a lot of traffic jams that's affecting the route. So that means journeys are subject to longer delays during this time. But you just gotta put up with it, unfortunately. So we'll soon be arriving at the Bromsgrove rail station interchange, where connections is provided with the train services. So you got the West Midlands train services operating a class 196, Birmingham New Street through to Hereford. So you got and that goes via Worcester Foregate Street, Droitwich Spa. Also, on yesterday's train journey, I had a class 172. Bit bizarre really, a class 172 to be on this line. And as well as that, you've got the class 730 Adventurers on the Cross City line service. Now, this wasn't the original terminus of the Cross City line. The original Cross City line terminus is down at Redditch, and that's where we're heading for. So we're just now approaching the rail station interchange here in Bromsgrove. So there's the Co-op food, little Co-op store. So you can see the lamppost painted especially for the West Midlands Railway franchise, and Bromsgrove station is managed by, you guess, West Midlands Railway. So anyway, just passing is a right street light in the old livery operated by Redditch Depot on the 52A from the Alexandra Hospital. So we're now down at the station where activity is here. Now cross-country services did serve Bromsgrove station, but now they just go through non-stop. And they use a fleet of class 170 turbo stars. And also the cross-country 221 Super Voyagers also come through here non-stop, and they go on to Cheltenham Spa, Bristol Parkway, Bristol Temple Meads, Taunton, Tiverton Parkway, Exeter St David, Newton Abbey, Dawlish, Totnes, and also certain Chiltern services even terminate at Bristol Temple Meads, and sometimes they even go along to Weston-super-Mare. So just by the Ladybird Inn. So then, here's the Ladybird Inn. Here's Barbers. So now we're continuing onwards towards Redditch. So finally, this year we're going to Redditch. Well, we're not getting off in Redditch because we'll be travelling back off camera back to Kidderminster. So we will be travelling back to Kidderminster, so we're crossing over the tracks over the tracks of the cross city line. Now the 196s that come through here were originally operated by 170 turbo stars, whilst the 730s on the cross city line would replace the class 323s that gone up to Northern in Manchester. And the line was electrified to handle the class 323s as they're electrified. The 196s are diesel powered, so they're DMUs, while the 323s and the 730s are electrical multiple units, EMU. EMU means electrical multiple units, whilst DMU is diesel multiple units. So we're now going along the twisty road. So if you go left, you're on the 147 service. So 147 does a lot of little lanes, but obviously we're going up this twisty line, and this is going to take us all the way to Redditch. So here's the crossing pub. Now I was going to go to Redditch at most at the start of the year, but obviously there's been a couple of setbacks. But obviously it's down to operational reasons with the YouTube channel, but obviously the YouTube channel started to thrive again. Because obviously the YouTube channel had a lot of things had to do, but obviously the YouTube channel started to pick back up again after a couple of years disruption. Well, after the last couple of years when things went pear-shaped. So now we're going to go along this twisty road to Redditch. So you can see there's a sign that we're going to do a twist and a turn, so we're going to now pick up the speed. So this is going to take us all the way to Redditch. So there's a directional sign for Arbor Church, or Alva Church. So it's 3 miles to Lockring and Arbor Church. So the Bromsgrove bypass is paralleling alongside us, but obviously we are going along the country lanes. So you can see there's a slim church in the distance. Very nice, interesting church. Looks very thin compared to the other churches that we see around the area. This is a bit like going along if you were going on holiday somewhere, like maybe to the south coast. And so Fireboy Bourne has joined me on this trip. So we're going to go all the way to Redditch. So a row of houses here. So Tardy Big now, or Tardy BJ. Over there is a wind turbine. So there's a wind turbine over there in the background. It's currently stopped because obviously the wind isn't around today. There's not many wind around. But I do love wind turbines. Yes, I do. So just going over the Bromsgrove bypass, or is it the Bromsgrove Highway? And we're now going to do the next leg of the journey. So going left goes on to Durcots, but we're going in the direction to Redditch. So we've got the Tardy Big restaurant. It's a massive restaurant accommodation. Hewell Close, as you know, we're near Redditch. Tardy Big Court. So we're now in Redditch, twinned with Axel Hawks area. So there's signs here for like Evesham, Coventry, Stratford, because obviously Redditch is closed, but you can't get a bus service from Redditch to Coventry, so it involves changing buses at Stratford upon Avon. There's a sign here from Bromsgrove, the A448, the M5. Obviously we're away from Bromsgrove now, but obviously this is the direction just to go on this road here. Another twisty road. This is a bit like going round over at Telford a bit. This is just like going round Telford area. The A448. There's signs here for Toddybeag, Enfield, Rock Hill, Batchley. There's an old pub, now disused, taken out of use. So we're nearly arriving into Redditch. So the 52A follows us, but the 52 can terminate at the bus station, with the 52A continuing beyond the bus station to Openshore to serve the Tesco Extra supermarket, and then terminating at the Alexandra Hospital. And that used to be like the 55 and the 55 at the C service. 55C was a Sunday version to the 55, not serving Tesco's, whilst the 55 went to serve Tesco's, and now it's the 52A and does serve Tesco's on Sunday. So there's a sign there for Batchley. So just now going down. So our journey is soon coming to an end, so you'll see the landmark, a tall building coming up, and that will be the building of the Kingfisher Shopping Centre, which is actually built above the bus station. This is a bit like with Worcester as well, because you've got the Friary Walk, which was the Crown Gate Shopping Centre, right above the bus station in Worcester. The Crown Gate Shopping Centre is above the bus station. The Friary Walk's above the Crown Gate bus station in Worcester. And this is a bit like with railways, like when you look at New Street Station, you've got the Grand Central Shopping Centre above the station, formerly known as the Palisades. And here at Redditch you get connections onto Evesham, Solihull on Flexibus services, and also you've got connections here for Stratford-upon-Avon run by Stagecoach. That's the X19 service. So here in Redditch, and also you've got Droitwich on the 354. So operators you'll find here is for Ness, Flexi, Coventry minibuses, Diamond Bus, Stagecoach, and that's all the following operators you'll find here, because obviously Johnson's have since left serving Redditch because Johnson's was bought out by Diamond. And of course Worcestershire County Council Bush did serve Redditch. The same with, and of course if you remembered, Redditch used to be operated by First. Redditch used to be operated by First just before Diamond took over. And one of the busiest routes they've got here in Redditch is the 57 and 58 to Matchborough. Here we are, veering into Redditch. So the stores here, you've got the Range, HMV. You did have a Wilko's here, but Wilko's stopped trading in 2023 when the company went into administration. This is the bus station here in Redditch. You did have a TJ Hughes. You did have a TJ Hughes here in Redditch, but they closed in 2011 when the company went into administration. And this is the terminus at the Cross City line from Lichfield. So, welcome to Redditch. So, we've got Flaxman Centro, a Mela Strata, and even a street deck and an Optare Solo.